Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views. Lots of tariff talk today, so let's just jump right into it. Justin Trudeau is burning down the house before he leaves. He is so irresponsible. He is taking cheap shots at Donald Trump and then running away. He doesn't even acknowledge Donald Trump as the president of the United States and then calls Americans dumb. Listen to this.
We stuck to our word, and we did it because we believe in working together to protect our citizens. Now I want to speak directly to one specific American, Donald. In the over 8 years you and I have worked together, we've done big things. We signed a historic deal that has created record jobs and growth in both of our countries. We've done big things together on the world stage, as Canada and the US have done together for decades, for generations. And now we should be working together to ensure even greater prosperity for North Americans in a very uncertain and challenging world. Now, it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal, but Donald, they point out that even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do. We two friends fighting is exactly what our opponents around the world want to see. And now,
you're not friends with Donald Trump, Justin. Pretty much the whole planet hates you. Canadians want an election. You canceled Parliament. You prorogued Parliament. You canceled democracy. We have no say. We don't even know what you're doing right now. You shouldn't even be talking. It's ridiculous that we have taxes going up in April, the carbon tax increase, during a trade war, and we have no government because of him. And he does this disrespect to Donald Trump. How well do you think this is going to play out? Donald Trump has already said there's retaliatory tariffs coming now, reciprocal, because of what Justin Trudeau is doing. The Canadian economy is like 75% dependent on the United States. Canada should be doing nothing except asking Donald Trump what we need to do to cancel these things and do it and get it done. It's laughable listening to Justin Trudeau say that he's done his part, that Canada has done their part. No, there are still tariffs on the United States from Canada, which sparked this years ago, specifically milk from Quebec. There is lots Canada could be doing, but they refuse to budge. There's one more part in this I really want to show you. It's crazy. It shows what Justin Trudeau is willing to do to you to prop up his ego and Canada. Listen to this.
Peuvent toujours compter.
Not that.
Les uns sur les autres. Now, we've been through tough spots before. But every time we've faced long odds and seemingly insurmountable obstacles, we've not only survived, we've emerged stronger than ever. Because when it comes to defending our great nation, there is no price we all aren't willing to pay.
That right there. There is no price we all aren't willing to pay, except for the ruling class in Canada. Rules for thee, not for me. These are the people that have disappeared close to $1 trillion taxpayer dollars. Scandal after scandal after scandal, specifically the Green Slush Fund. Hundreds, billions of dollars evaporated. There is no price that we are willing to pay. Where have you heard that before? Willing to pay for climate. It doesn't matter. It's unbelievable that he thinks this way. Taxes are going up in April.
And today is no different.
Yeah, today is no different. We're still going to squeeze you for all that you are worth. It is unreal. Continuing on. I got a lot here. This is from Donald Trump. Okay, so he said that Canada doesn't allow American banks to do business in Canada, but their banks flood the American market. Oh, that seems fair to me, doesn't it? He's being sarcastic. So then the CBC said, no, that's not true. Justin Trudeau said it as well in that press conference, saying that there are all of these banks in Canada. Yes, but what Donald Trump is saying is that Canadian banks in America can function just like American banks. But American banks in Canada, surprise, surprise, have restrictions on them, and big ones. Readers added context. American banks do business in Canada, but with restrictions. Canadian banks do not have that in America. And everybody that does business in Canada at these American banks know that, and we all know it. We're not allowed to use them as just regular customers. It's ridiculous to think otherwise. It's just more Justin Trudeau lying. Now, we are in this spot that we are in because from 2015 until now, there has been over $660 billion in energy projects canceled. 660 billion projects canceled or suspended, costing us 100,000 plus jobs and $20 billion a year. Higher taxes, lower paychecks, declining economy, blah, 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 you name it. Canada was boiling over and getting to this point a long time ago. Sorry, I forgot to give Ryan credit. This is Ryan Williams. He's a member of parliament for the Bay of Quinte, Shadow Minister of International Trade and Competition. He's got great videos. Another great one from him is Canada is a Monopoly. I highly recommend you watch that as well. I'm just going to show you the introduction to this.
Canadians should be furious right now. Share this far and wide. Trudeau and Mark Carney have cost Canadians over $660 billion in suspended or canceled energy projects since 2015. This is 100,000 jobs or more. This is government or revenue, and this is all because of their war on oil and LNG sectors. Here's the list.
It's crazy. It is unbelievable. All
trade
that
works
money.
When you produce and sell the things you do best and you trade for the rest. Canada is rich in oil, LNG, agriculture, potash, lumber, critical minerals, seafood, and yes, even Hawkins cheesies. But we trade for things we don't produce, like pineapples, orange juice, coffee, and computer chips. Yet Trudeau and Carney declared war on our biggest advantage, our energy. Canada has the third largest oil reserves in the world, the second or third largest LNG reserves. And how? How did they do it? The carbon tax, a direct hit on energy, farmers, truckers, and every Canadian who buys groceries or heats their home. Bill C-69, the No More Pipelines Act, the Just Transition designed to kill 600,000 oil and gas jobs and replace them with what? Retail from American-owned Walmart and McDonald's. The hypocrisy of Trudeau and Carney on emissions. They claim Canada needs to cut emissions, but here's what they ignore. India and China burn 86% of the world's coal. Canada's number one export to China is coal. And they're
It goes on and on and on. Please watch it. I got a lot of stuff I got to cover, so I got to shut it off right there. Don't forget the carbon tax goes up in April. Justin Trudeau cares about you so much that taxes are going up. And all the money that Canada is going to make off of these tariffs, do you think that they're gonna trickle down to Canadians? No. You can guarantee the Liberal NDP party is going to pocket it for sure. We need an audit to know where all of the money is going. So, Justin Trudeau says the moment U.S. tariffs came into effect this morning, so did the Canadian response. Canada will be implementing 25% tariffs against $155 billion of American products, starting with $30 billion worth of goods immediately and the remaining $125 billion in 21 days. I'm showing you this because this may seem like a lot. It is not. It is absolutely nothing. Texas has a bigger economy than this whole country. There is this graph right here that shows, I don't know if you can see it that well. This is the tariff response. The United States is barely going to feel anything. US with retaliation goes up to there. This is Canada already with the tariffs. This is Canada with retaliation. And of course, this is Mexico. This is what I mean when I say that Canada should just be doing nothing except being told what to do. And in the meantime, maybe learn from this and start acting like a serious country and bring back that 600 and some billion dollars, all those projects back, and get them online and start doing trade. It is the oldest saying, so many of them. You never put all of your eggs in one basket. You don't do that. That's just stupid. That's dumb. Weak men create hard times. We're living it right now. This is from Rupa Subramanya. Why isn't Pierre Poilievre making the case for not retaliating against the United States when the economics is very clear that retaliatory tariffs on the United States will have minimal effect on them, but will be doubly devastating for Canada? Why is he in lockstep with Trudeau? Why? Where is Pierre? Pierre should be all over social media with a microphone talking to people on the street. He needs to be doing more. He needs to up his game. It's nuts. Continuing on. This is a perfect example of throwing money away. So this is in socialist Ontario with their government liquor stores. It's happening. Goodbye, Jack Daniels. All their booze is being removed from the liquor board, blah, 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 as we speak. Look, let's watch Ontario throw money in the garbage. This is them taking profits and throwing them in the garbage to virtue signal. So Doug Ford can say that he is doing something, that it's going to cost Americans billions of dollars while all of these other businesses are going to have to cut staff, blah, 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 because they won't be able to stay afloat. This is the effect. 75% of the Canadian economy is dependent on America, on the United States. These people need to get their ego in check. For all of you out there that don't know, Saskatchewan and Alberta, we're still good to go. We believe in freedom of choice here. That's what this is. This is socialism. This is the government telling you what you can drink and cannot drink. It's unreal what is going on in this country. This is from Bridget Gabriel. I hope that I'm saying this right. Now, I'm showing you her. I don't really know her, a lot of her news or anything. But anyway, she's a New York Times best-selling author, national security expert, survivor of terrorism. She's got 1.3 million followers. All right. The best part about X is you get to see the Americans' perception and their context and the way that they view Canada when Justin Trudeau talks. Justin Trudeau is lying, she says. All Canada has to do is remove all Canadian trade tariffs on the United States, and President Trump will remove U.S. tariffs on Canada. Did you hear that up in Canada? We didn't hear that. We didn't hear this at all. Is it true? That's what true free trade is all about. Remove all of the trade, the tariffs that Canada implemented years ago, specifically milk from Quebec, like I was saying. It's unbelievable. And I'll show you it at the end. Continuing on. This is from the beautiful Rachel Parker. Alberta lawyer Jeffrey Rath says a delegate is planning to travel to DC to pitch President Trump on Alberta statehood. Yes, they are going there to talk to him. Quote, "It's quite evident that we are being governed by idiots in Ottawa. There is a number of us in Alberta that have had enough. Yes, the movement is growing. Sorry to say this, regardless of what the best premier in Canada has to say." Danielle Smith, when she says there is no interest in it. Yes, Danielle, there is lots of interest.
There's a group of Albertans that are working together right now to put together a delegation to go to Washington to talk to the Trump administration about Alberta petitioning for U.S. statehood. It's quite evident that we're being governed by idiots in Ottawa who don't understand that we can't afford a trade war with our largest trading partner. And rather than simply apologizing to President Trump for not meeting our NATO commitments and not adequately securing our border, apparently the Trudeau government has decided to declare a trade war and run up trillions billions of dollars in costs like they did during COVID on a made-up emergency. So there's a number of us in Alberta that have had enough and want to go speak with the Trump administration about the benefits of Alberta joining the United States.
I don't know how you get on that delegate, but fuck, if they got money to send me there, I would have Donald Trump convinced in a minute. Yeah, a minute, probably, on how Alberta could easily be convinced to become the 51st state. Guns, gas, and glory, freedom of speech, and property rights. Lay it all out, make a deal, especially with the American dollar. The only way that I could see Alberta not wanting to do that is if all trade barriers were lifted, interprovincial trade barriers were lifted in Canada. They got rid of equalization. They made it way more fair, and they evened out the seat count in Parliament, so every single province is no better or worse than the other. An actual country. That is how Canada could survive. But we all know, just like the trade tariffs that Quebec is throwing at the United States, it will never, ever function because of the ruling class. Yeah, if there's a way for me to get in that delegation and to get down there to meet the MAGA man, yeah, I'd have him convinced. Donald, this is what you got to do. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, we can make it work. It's crazy. The times we're living in right now are nuts. Here's Doug Ford. Today, I wrote to the governors, senators, and congressmen and women from New York, Michigan, and Minnesota, putting them on notice that Ontario is prepared to add a 25% tariff surcharge to the electricity we export to their states if President Trump tariffs remain in place. Doug Ford is going to increase the cost of energy, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what Donald Trump is planning. He's supposed to address the people in the United States. Maybe it's tonight, I think. He's got a plan, a master plan, and it's going to be a long-term plan. It's interesting. He's an interesting guy. He says, I remember when he was talking about prosperity and growth, he called it a game. He says, those that are willing to play the game of like prosperity, you're going to feel the squeeze and you're going to have hard times, but it's long-term projection if it's worth it or not. So what he's doing right now, he's got a plan. And I'm pretty sure these tariffs are put in place globally so he can lower the taxes for Americans and for business coming to the United States. I've said this before. He is going all the way back to the late 1800s, early 1900s, the United States. He's going to get a gold-backed currency with just a roaring economy with all manufacturing back in the United States. He knows this system that we're on right now is done, and he's going to hit the reset button, and he's going to make it happen. And so far, I haven't heard anything crazy or conspiracy theories on a pushback financially from the Federal Reserve banks and all this stuff. If he's willing to able to negotiate and talk out loud about it, you know the system is bad. The financial system is really bad. Continuing on, ending with the media. These are the senators in the United States. This come out today, all saying the exact same thing. Don't tell me that mind control is fake and it isn't real. This is unbelievable. What they do in media. We see it all the time too with Trudeau Media Corp in Canada. But watch this. It's great.
When I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one, Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down. They're up. Inflation is getting worse. Prices of groceries, gas, eggs, of essentials. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Meanwhile,
Reading from a script. The thing is who is writing that? It's the same thing with us up here in Canada, like I was saying, with our politicians and Justin Trudeau. They all get their emails in the morning with their talking points. Heaven forbid they should be thinking freely and on their own. It's to me, it's one of the reasons why Pierre Poilievre hasn't just come out and is like been himself or ran his own strong campaign. It's like they constantly read the polls and then direct themselves and be like, okay, this is what's going on now. We need a little bit of a conservative flavor to go with this. But on paper, it's pretty much identical to a liberal platform. It's systemic. It's systemic corruption in Canada. It's systemic how this country is ran. It is the weirdest thing to live here and witness it, while at the same time getting out of the bubble and viewing it from the United States. And it's like, it's mind control. It's weird. It's a system. It's like I always say, it's mass formation psychosis, and Canadians are deep in it. They just worship and virtue signal the most current thing that the blinding screen tells them in the morning. It is crazy to watch. And you can tell too by their talking points. When you watch the pattern of Justin Trudeau talk, you actually know when it's unscripted and scripted. Today was all scripted. He was acting, because when he talked genuinely, he goes all the time. The reason you don't see that often is because they tell him, Justin, don't think and don't talk off the cuff. You can't do it because you don't have a brain. You have to read from a script. You have to memorize your lines because you're an actor all the time. Anyway, I will keep you updated with as much as I can when I can. All of you out there, like, share, and take care. Follow me on Substack, YouTube, and Spotify. Man, it's crazy. Like, share, and take care.